Oh, sorry. Just really quick, I want to say, even if Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, whatever, all get blamed for this stuff, these guys and the West are all down to eliminate online anonymity and financial privacy for all of their citizens. Yeah, the US and China agree on that. US and Iran agree on that. They're all doing digital IDs and either synthetic CBDCs or direct issued CBDCs. They're all on board for this overarching agenda. Just want to make that really clear.
Bitcoin is in danger. Our digital space is in danger. It's about time that every single one of us realizes this reality. Whitney Webb, a popular investigative journalist and writer, has exposed the unfiltered truth and a serious problem that our world is currently facing. From our governments to the media, every single one of them is lying to us. Every source we used to trust for information, they're covering up information to make everything seem in our favor, even though it isn't. And this is because the global elites want to stay in power. But what does this have to do with crypto? Everything. Whitney Webb's revelations address a significant concern: the potential manipulation of Bitcoin by major commercial banks and the US government's financial arm. This is not a mere speculation, but a stark reality. The conflict intensifies as we confront the fundamental question: was Bitcoin originally crafted to combat the financial irresponsibility of central and commercial banks, only to now be wielded by the very entities it sought to challenge? The fundamental nature of Bitcoin as a tool for financial freedom is on the edge, facing threats from the very forces it intended to oppose. Webb sheds light on a concerning scenario: the potential for hyperinflation resulting from the surging value of Bitcoin. While individual net worth might appear substantial, in the context of devalued currencies, the purchasing power remains essentially unchanged. This is not a speculative projection, but a cautionary narrative of what could transpire. Let us now take a look at clips as Whitney Webb reveals these harsh realities in an interview with Natalie Brunell. Don't skip this important information that could shape our future. As we share clips from the interview, we encourage you to like, comment, and share this video with your peers. Everyone should know about this. Subscribe to the channel and activate post notifications to receive more content similar to this.
Winning, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it under those metrics. I certainly think that the big commercial banks and potentially, the financial arm of the US government think they can use Bitcoin for something that benefits them. Just to, before I go any further, I think it's pretty clear to everyone that there's a big differentiation, even from the US government's perspective, between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right? Gary Gensler of the SEC refers to Bitcoin as a commodity, but every other cryptocurrency is a security from the SEC's perspective. That's pretty significant. So seeing Bitcoin as like this commodity from the SEC's perspective, the only commodity in the digital currency space, they obviously want to use that to their benefit if they can, and it seems like they probably can and will. Yeah. So the conflict here, as I see it, is why was Bitcoin originally made? From what I have, what's been portrayed, right? It was created as a tool of financial freedom to prevent fiscal irresponsibility on the part of central banks and also commercial banks as a response to things like the 2008 financial crisis. Okay. So what happens when the same powers that Bitcoin was created to thwart start using it to continue their bad behavior? Is it still a tool for financial freedom then, or has it become a tool of the same people it was created to fight against? This is a real discussion that needs to happen in the Bitcoin space. It is happening to a degree, arguably not enough. I think a lot of people, can get kind of googly-eyed thinking like, oh, wow, what if Bitcoin goes above $200,000? Like, and all of this stuff. Like, okay, well, it's great that you might have, a higher net worth, but in a lot of the cases where like Bitcoin would be projected to reach astronomical sums, that means like the dollar and like other currencies widely in use become like insanely devalued. So like, okay, if a loaf of bread is worth like $300 because like helicopter money in the US has happened and it's like hyperinflation, and you have Bitcoin, like you might have like a lot of, it looks like you have a lot of money in your account, but in terms of purchasing power, like you basically have the same lifestyle you have now, but everyone else around you is dirt poor and has nothing. Like, is that a scenario to be like cheered on? I don't think so. Bitcoin's supposed to be ideal money, right? And a tool of financial freedom. And if we let the people that have run this insane monetary casino for decades use Bitcoin for their ends, Bitcoin will cease to be that, period. I also think there's a side effort too, and I think it's very obvious, or should be very obvious to people in the space, to criminalize privacy enhancing tools for Bitcoin transactions. They want Bitcoin transactions, those that they allow to happen, to be completely surveillable. They don't want financial privacy, which is part of this push for bank issued stable coins and deposit tokens and CBDCs, is all about knowing everything about the flow of money. How the public spends their money. They don't want you to spend $1 and them not know about it, So, I mean, that's essentially where it's headed. And to use Bitcoin, they want it to go in that direction as well. So, it's very likely, like, in the event that like the dollar hyperinflates, like, people have made the case that like maybe Bitcoin will be used as a reserve asset to keep the dollar from completely imploding.
Whitney Webb's revelations also paint a chilling picture of the Department of Justice's intrusive surveillance on every transaction flowing through Binance. With FinCEN holding custodianship for the next 5 years, granting unrestricted access to all historical and ongoing data, the implications are staggering. This isn't just routine monitoring, it's an alarming assertion of power. Webb emphasizes the DOJ's potential to retroactively flag and seize Bitcoin wallets, incorporating them into their already colossal Bitcoin holdings, one of the largest globally. She raises a red flag about the broader agenda to annihilate online and financial anonymity. Webb warns against complacency, asserting that even with Bitcoin's inherent immutability, concerted efforts are underway to stifle its transformative potential and maintain the status quo of centralized power. Here are her words regarding this matter.
An insane amount of staff from the Department of Justice are surveilling every transaction that goes through Binance right now. And FinCEN has custodianship of the exchange for the next 5 years. They have all access to all of Binance's data, not just from the settlement forward, but all of their past data. So they can retroactively go and flag transactions, and the DOJ can be like, we're going to seize that wallet for X amount of Bitcoin and add it to, the DOJ's massive Bitcoin holdings, which are among the biggest in the world, right? So you control all of these on and off ramps and surveil all of that. Like, that is a major problem. And I think people have to be really aware of this like big push to end online anonymity and financial anonymity, or like just privacy, that I've been talking about for a long time. So like, obviously like Bitcoin has potential to be something, but if we let these people control the on and off ramps and like other major aspects of infrastructure, like maybe Bitcoin itself is immutable, but they plan to do everything in their power to prevent it from being something that takes a big chunk of their power away. And I think people have to be like, I mean, some people are naive about how far these people will go, but you should not be. Like, these are people that do not want to cede their power to anybody, and they're very accustomed to stealing from us. And they don't plan to stop stealing, So, I mean, people need to be really aware of that, and, and fight to keep Bitcoin to be something that is empowering and a tool for freedom and financial freedom. Because, if enough people get too googly-eyed about the value going up and, pumper bags and all of this stuff, I mean, there's a lot of damage could be done. And, I mean, I wish I had more like positive stuff to say about it, but I mean, it's not like the battle is lost. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is people need to be really aware that there are major efforts to co-opt. Like, maybe there's aspects of it, sure, that like can't be co-opted, but in a practical sense, like for regular people, it can be co-opted. Yeah. And there's when you have groups like BlackRock and all this stuff trying to get in on it, that should be a red flag that like they think they can co-opt it.
By 2025, more than 90% of what we see online will be made by artificial intelligence, shaping how we see the world. While it may seem like this human advancement was created for our benefit, the promised advantages are all just cover-ups given to us by powerful individuals with ulterior motives. According to Webb, the global elites are aware that their motives are starting to get exposed, so they're going to try harder to control and distract us. From financial markets to cultural trends, they want to stay in power. Webb exposes their plan to take control of all our lives through the internet. They've already executed this plan, and it's working. The majority of the population is currently reliant on the internet. We better be careful of what happens next. These elites want to control it using artificial intelligence. And while Whitney Webb reveals these shocking truths, she encourages people not to feel pessimistic about the issues discussed. Instead of getting disheartened, she urges individuals to feel motivated and excited to create alternatives. Webb advocates for actively building new tools and systems that are not controlled by powerful individuals or oligarchs. She emphasizes the importance of constructing solutions that work for the benefit of the people, as opposed to technologies designed to serve the interests of a select few. Webb suggests a proactive approach to counter the negative impact of certain technologies, urging people to engage in real-world activities rather than passively consuming content. She highlights the human inclination to create and build, encouraging individuals to harness this innate drive to develop tools and systems that align with the values of freedom and empowerment. Specifically, she promotes the use of Bitcoin for financial freedom and emphasizes the transformative potential of technology when it is designed and implemented by individuals for the collective good. The underlying message is a call to action, encouraging people to participate in the creation of a better future by actively engaging in building and supporting technologies that serve the broader community. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey through Whitney Webb's revelations about the critical challenges facing Bitcoin and our digital space. It's clear that our world is at a crossroads, and understanding these harsh realities is the first step towards meaningful change. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, it's crucial to share it with others. Like, comment, and share this video to spread awareness among your peers. Everyone deserves to know about the potential manipulation of Bitcoin and the broader threats to our digital freedom. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to our channel and activate post notifications. We'll continue bringing you thought-provoking content that delves into important issues affecting our world. Remember, the power for change lies within each of us. Let's not succumb to pessimism, but instead channel our energy into building a future where technology serves the people, not the elites. Join us in the journey towards financial freedom and a better world. Thank you for watching, and stay informed.